liberal media had a huge outrage yesterday because President Trump decided to go golfing on Memorial Day weekend. They complain that the guy is obese, as they put it, yet they criticize him when he decides to exercise and play golf. I thought
Mm.
that was really telling there. It's like, which one is it? Is he morbidly obese and needs to exercise, or what?
Well, if you remember, if you recall, when all this stuff was going down with Benghazi, what was Barack Obama doing? On the golf course, playing golf. So that should squash that right there. But I'm sure that it won't because they'll say, "Oh, well, Barack Obama, he was doing so much, he needs to go out." Oh no, he does not. He needs to be. He should have been in the White House looking into that matter. When everything fell down with Libya, what was he doing? Oh, somewhere out twinkling his toes. Folks, give it a break. Okay, I know you hate to see when the president goes out. You hate to see when he does anything. But considering the fact that he's working 24/7, and you guys know it because you're always following him on Twitter. And that's what I don't understand. They don't like him, but they're always following him on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you just get off Twitter? And they say, oh, well, he's making policy on Twitter. He's always on Twitter. Well, you guys are reporting the news on Twitter. It's like, this is stupid.
It's like
He should get off Twitter.
it's like those thousands of liberal idiots that have their notifications on every single time that President Trump tweets, just so they
Right.
can hit him with a nasty tweet like that Jeffrey Tiedrick guy, or
It's
remember
Wait,
the
it's insane.
Krassenstein brothers?
Well, they're kicked off Twitter.
Yeah,
But it doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. I'm like, okay, you guys complain that he's on Twitter. Yet and still you have every liberal congressman on Twitter and they're attacking him. It's like, but then you're saying, oh, he shouldn't be on Twitter. Oh, this is not presidential. Well, if that's not presidential, you guys are behaving as if though you're in the Congress. It's like, folks, use your brain. It's
right.
like, come on, you're telling him to get off, but you're on there and you're saying everything under the sun, and then you're having to apologize. And not only that, you get on TV and say some of the same crudish things. It's like, come on.
Yeah, if he wasn't on there, they wouldn't know what to do with their
They
day.
wouldn't know what to do. The thing about it is that they're sad that Twitter wasn't as popular when Barack Obama was president. Because I'm telling you, he would have been on Twitter every day talking about healthcare, trying to get healthcare pushed. But the president's on Twitter, get off Twitter. The president goes to golf, he shouldn't be golfing. It's like, what gives? As if they're concerned about the president's well-being, as if they're concerned about his health.
That's
Please,
It's
it's like
just
it's a
one of
joke.
the many things President Trump has done better than any president ever. Is he seen
Oh,
that
absolutely.
social media was exploding, and he has just taken it to a whole new level,
Absolutely.
changed the way campaigning works, probably
Change the
forever.
way it works. A lot of these people in social media, they're benefiting from it. Although they'll talk about it, they don't like it, but they're benefiting from it. And I wouldn't at all be surprised at some point if Jack somehow mysteriously tried to have someone to lose the president's account like they did when he had won the election, was mysteriously taken down. But he knows right now he's getting a lot of traffic. It's like, so they're trying to make as much money as they can. So going back to Minka, talking about Jack, I want you, he's violated. Well, here's my thing on violation. Okay, Twitter makes this stuff up as they go along. I mean, they've been mucking around with my account for the past 2 months or so. So they make it up, oh, that's a violation, let's create this rule, oh, let's create that. And then when you read the rules, well, it's actually there. They read more into the rule than what is really in the rule. So Minka and all you other folks, if you don't like the man, stop following him. If you don't want him playing golf, stop looking. Go and enjoy your own Memorial Day weekend, why don't you? Come on, folks.
Florida and Georgia have been open now for 8 weeks, and the media
Mm.
predicted that they would look like Jonestown by now, and it hasn't
Yep.
quite turned out like that. Ron DeSantis went off in a great rant this week
And
about,
rightfully so.
and rightfully so, about all the heat he took when he decided to open Florida back up. And so far, the numbers have just been trending on the downward side, not the spike that the media predicted. Florida and Georgia seem to be doing well. It hasn't had the impact like I just said that everyone thought it would. Did you think it would have a huge impact, Rob, or do you think Governor DeSantis and Governor Kemp in Georgia did the right thing?
They did the right thing, and one of the things they did is what Governor Cuomo did not do, is that they made certain that they didn't send COVID patients to nursing homes. Think about it. Andrew Cuomo, you did the wrong thing. And by saying, oh, I follow the advice of the CDC, I followed Trump's advice. No, don't try to pass the buck because you said that you weren't going to listen to him. You're the person who said that you needed more ventilators. You're the person who said you need more hospital beds. So you screwed up royally. Whereas DeSantis and the governor of Georgia, they did the right thing. And I don't blame DeSantis because he doesn't get the credit that he deserves. He doesn't get the credit because the person who was running against him was caught with a male prostitute not too long ago in some shady hotel doing some unspeakable things. Okay, that's his business. I'm okay with that. I don't care about it, okay? But DeSantis, like a governor, like a leader, followed his own intuition and said, hey, we're going to carve out the most vulnerable population and make certain that we take care of them, the elderly, and the nursing homes. We're not going to put COVID patients in with them. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to make certain that everyone knows what they're supposed to do to stay safe. They did it. He did it. And now look at Florida. Look at Georgia. They all poo-pooed Anderson Cooper. And that person that they called a doctor, Sanjay Gupta, said, oh, no, this is wrong. They're doing the wrong thing. It's like you guys know nothing about public policy. Dr. Gupta, I think you're a neurosurgeon. So you should just stick with that. And that only, as opposed to try to give, these broad opinions and make all these recommendations. Because you guys are probably going to Greta Thunberg for advice, a 16-year-old, to tell you what's up and what's down. So hats off to those governors because they did the right thing. And you look at the population. And if I can also add, if anyone comes and says, oh, well, there's a slight uptick now and we have more COVID patients. Well, folks, again, think about it logically. If testing is available now for everyone, and if people are going in to be tested, it's only natural that those numbers are going to go up. It's not that it's going up because, oh, they didn't obey the rules. No. If more people are going in to be tested, it's only natural the numbers are going to go up. But if I can also remind you, there was an article published in the Washington Post last week that said that now that they have all these testings available, they can't find enough people to do the test. Hello? So it's like, well, again, you got to take a step back and look at the full picture. First they tell you, doom and doom, doom and gloom, Florida, Georgia, it's going to go up in fire. Didn't happen. And you know why?
How bad does the liberal media look? Sorry to cut you off, Rob, but how bad does the liberal media look that they've spent the last 3 months kissing Andrew Cuomo's ass every single day, all day on the news, and it turns out his policies were a disaster that killed thousands of seniors.
It's unbelievable.
And at the same time, they've been bashing Governor DeSantis and Governor Kemp from Georgia, and it turns out they were doing the right thing. Anybody who's been paying attention just sees how terrible the media looks after this.
Well, absolutely. And of course, the media, they don't want to cover it. The Cuomo kid, Fredo, he brings his brother on his show, and they talk about putting some type of Q-tip up his nose, and they're laughing about it. I'm like, you're laughing? And half of the COVID patients in New York that have died have been in nursing homes because of your brother's direction, telling them to put COVID patients in the nursing homes to recover. Are you serious? Of course, Anderson Cooper isn't going to cover it. Don Lemon isn't going to cover it. Sanjay Gupta isn't going to cover it because they're busy trying to point the finger at the president. Remember, you have state rights. The only time the federal government is supposed to come in is to help you out when you can't do anything. And I might add, President Trump did step up to the podium and he helped out California and he helped out New York by making certain that they had the supplies that they need. But of course, the liberal media won't talk about it. So at this point, the liberal media looks pathetic, the same way they looked when they preached this whole Russia collusion. They look pathetic then, but they won't cover themselves that way. They make themselves look as if though, oh, we're so good. And more than likely, they'll probably get Pulitzers for what? For lying? Again, look at Florida and Georgia, models of success. And even if the numbers do slightly tick up, it's because more people are being tested. But you know what? Those same people that are being tested will recover. Is it not interesting that we don't hear about the recovery? I mean, CNN has become like the obit at night, talking about dead people. Again, no one should die. It is always sad. Okay, Why did the New York Times run a full-page article on the people who got the virus and survived,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to those who have died? You know why? Because they're embarrassed, because they have been screwing up royally and kissing Cuomo's red behind. So I'm sure their lips are probably chapped by now. Wait, the guy didn't. He failed miserably, and he should not forget it.
Mm-hmm.
And that story should be told, and we should constantly talk about it. I know that I tweet about it. So hey, again, hats off to Florida and to Georgia. DeSantis, you're the man.
Right. A lot of people, I think, are taking advantage of this unemployment where you get like $600 extra a week, and I think that's a big large part of the crowd. It's people saying that, oh, we can't go back to work. They don't want to go
Mm-hmm.
back to work because they're actually making more money sitting at home, which
Yep.
is a big problem.
Yep, and it's again, it's unfortunate, and you have the Democrats again creating a social program that will make people dependent upon them. $600 will not get you anywhere in the society. Now, I'm sure that some people will say, "Well, in my state, it'll get me a whole lot further. I make more than when I was on the job."
Hmm.
But you
I've
don't
heard that
have,
from quite a few
yeah,
people.
but you don't have that independence. You don't have your freedom.
Hmm.
When people give you something, something that you didn't earn, they can mold you, shape you, and do whatever they want to do with you. And then once they're done with you, they can cast you out to dry and say, hey, get away from me because I've moved on. It's like people wake up. It might look good. When everything's shut down, I'm like, okay, fine. I understand it. People need help. Okay? But at this point, we need to open up so that people can get back to work. We need to open up so that people can make an earnest living. This is Socialism is not what we're made of. It does not produce success. Look at all of the other countries that have tried it. Look at Cuba. Look at Venezuela. Come on, wake up. The Democrats, they want you to think that they're going to take care of you because they want your vote. But believe you me, as soon as they get your vote, they're going to cash you out to dry. And then they're going to start with, oh, well, the economy is so bad and no one is working and we can only give you so much because the Republicans don't want to give us anything. Meanwhile, they're receiving their paychecks. Has anyone said anything about them not receiving their paychecks? Only a few Republican representative congressmen have said, we're not going to take our paycheck. Nancy Pelosi's taking her paycheck, Chuck Schumer, but they're telling you, don't get a paycheck. We'll throw out a little measly, possibly $600, and you can just stay at home. Stay at home for what? While they take away your basic civil liberties? Folks, wake up. Don't believe the hype.
I don't understand the point in making extra money when you're a prisoner in your own home. Also, I mean, it's just
Exactly. What can you do with it? Pay your
yeah,
bills, something to eat, and then go back home because everything else is shut down. What type of entertainment can you get?
yeah.
Like, come on, folks.
Yeah, I woke up this morning and the Lake of the Ozarks was trending on Twitter. People were outraged that so many people were there partying and disgusted. I was happy to see it. I was like, that looks like the America I know.
Right. Well, because eventually, if as the summer approaches and we get into the summer, and if it is a very hot summer, do you actually think people are going to feel comfortable wearing those masks? And then Dr. Burke just talking about, oh, you can play tennis and you can mark your balls. I'm like, hey, I don't want you touching my balls. Like, what are you talking about? Mark the balls? Oh, that's my ball. Don't touch that ball. But we're going to play with this ball. Folks, this is crazy. We're in crazy land. Think about it. Marking balls? I mean, if two people are playing tennis, well, maybe they have it, maybe they don't. Again, this is insane. If you get it, you will more than likely survive if you're taking care of yourself. More people die from heart disease. I mean, it's like this is insane. I mean, my good friend Gary was telling me, we had this conversation. He's like, Rob, I don't believe that they're doing this. More people die of heart disease. More people die of being obese. Folks, look at this. They want to mark the balls. What are we going to mark next? You can't walk this side of the street. You got to walk on that side of the street. It's insane. Again, I'm not making light of the virus because it does exist.
Hmm.
But I'm like, we have got to pull ourselves together because this boogeyman that they've told us about, come on, you're giving away so much. And what are you getting? $600 extra? Doesn't work that way.